Hi there, I am Ismail from Pelemon, and today we will be doing a graveyard tour of SEO tactics that still have mourners. So basically, we'll be looking at outdated SEO tactics that still have some people worshipping them. Every industry has its zombies, ideas that should be dead but keep walking around because enough people refuse to bury them. SEO has more than most. Today, we are doing a graveyard tour of the tactics that built agencies, launched careers, and generated real results right up until the moment they didn't. Some of these you recognize, some of them you might still be paying for. And by the end of this video, you understand not just what died, but why smart, experienced people are still doing them anyway. The first tactic we'll be looking at is guest posting networks. Guest posting was once genuinely legitimate. You write a valuable article for a relevant website, you earn a backlink, everyone wins. Then the SEO industry did what it always does. It industrialized it. Guest post networks emerged where you could pay to place articles on hundreds of sites simultaneously. You want to place a guest post on Forbes? Not a problem. Yahoo, pish posh. All you have to do is spend the money. These sites existed purely to host these articles. The content was thin, the audiences were fake, and the links were entirely manufactured. Google's 2014 warnings should have killed it. They didn't, because it kept working just enough to keep the industry alive. Today, guest post networks are still being sold to small businesses as a legitimate link building strategy by agencies that know exactly what they are selling. Tactic number 2 is exact match domains. There was a golden window, roughly 2008 to 2012, where owning a domain like bestplumberlondon.com or cheapcarinsurance.co.uk was almost enough on its own to rank for those terms. Exact match domains carried enormous algorithmic weight. Entire businesses were built on registering them, slapping thin content on them, and collecting traffic. Google's exact match domain update in 2012 gutted that advantage overnight. But here's the strange part. People still buy exact match domains, not because they work the way they used to, but because the logic feels so intuitively correct that it's almost impossible to let go of. If the domain matches the keyword, surely it helps. It mostly doesn't, and it often anchors you to a brand name with no flexibility. Tactic number 3. Keyword density, the metric that never actually meant anything. At some point, someone decided that if a keyword appeared in exactly 2% of your content, Google will recognize the page as relevant and rank it accordingly. Keyword density became a metric. Tools were built around it. Tools like TFI, PDF, writers were briefed with density targets. Content was rewritten to hit percentages. And the entire premise was, at best, a misreading of how search engine works, and at worst, completely fabricated. Google has never confirmed keyword density as a ranking factor. It was an industry-invented rule that got repeated enough time to become received wisdom. The legacy of this is the stilted, awkward SEO writing style that still dominates corners of the internet today. Content written for percentage, not a person. The next tactic is article spinning. Before AI writing tools, there was article spinning. You take a piece of content, run it through software that substitutes synonyms and restructures sentences, and produce hundreds of technically unique variations to post across different sites. Each one points a link back to your money site. It was ugly. It was obvious to any human reader, and it worked for longer than it had any right to. Sound familiar? Article spinning was the 2010 version of the AI content farm strategy being deployed right now. Different technology, identical logic. Flood the index with cheap content variations and extract rankings before the algorithm catches up. We've been there before. We know how it ends. We're still doing it anyway. Now, why do these dead tactics persist? Here's the real question. These tactics are widely known to be outdated, risky, or outright penalizable. So why do experienced SEOs keep deploying them? 3 reasons. First, they still work in low competition niches where Google's quality filters aren't applied as aggressively. Second, the SEO industry has almost no accountability. If a tactic fails 6 months after you sold it, the client blames the algorithm, not the strategy. And third, and this is the one nobody admits, measuring what actually cost a ranking improvement is genuinely hard. So when something moves after a guest posting campaign or an exact match domain purchase, the brain connects the dots, whether the connection is real or not. Bad tactics persist because the feedback loop that should kill them is too slow and too noisy to do its job. The most dangerous SEO tactic isn't the one that never worked. It's the one that worked brilliantly once, because that one you'll keep trying to resurrect forever. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. If you found this content to be useful, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Goodbye.